let's go down to the field to welcome and introduce our Franklin Warriors. Tonight, our head coach is John Pechkowski. Assistant coaches Dominic Amoroso, Mohamed El Sherbini, Christopher McAvoy, Joe Porter, Matt Young. Our freshman coaches Bob Bruno and Stephen Foster. And our volunteer coach is David Sturcio. Welcome, fans. I'm Lou Guglielmo alongside the coach, Steve Vergone.
Welcome, everybody. Excited for tonight's game.
Tonight's game features the Franklin Warriors with their opponent, the Panthers of Bridgewater Township. You know, Coach, as we get ready for tonight's game, a lot of anticipation coming off of last week's thrilling win at Union and, stepping up the class tonight against Bridgewater.
3 straight strong performances for the Warriors. Love to see them turn another one of those out tonight and translate to a W against Bridgewater.
You'd like to start seeing them, again, claim dominance at home. This is our turf. They're really making a statement that playing here in Franklin is definitely not going to be an easy game.
All right. We're going to take this opportunity to introduce tonight's officials to you. Our head referee is Jerry Hughes, umpire Fred Yager, linesman Bob Cancio, line judge Richard Lutz, back judge Bob Pompliano, side judge Jay Zienskowski, and the clock operator is Brian Bukowski.
I swear, while I may be old, I think Bob Cankro, the side judge, is an old teacher of mine back in middle school.
Back when Mr. G was raining down threes at East Brunswick High School.
And pulling splinters from my better hindquarters. The captains are now approaching the midfield stripe. And we will have the coin toss.
Front and back.
Tonight's game captains for the Warriors are number 2, Clay Fields, number 84, Matthew Zai, number 44, Jameel Holmes, and number 40, Josh Bello. For Bridgewater,
captains are Lawrence Nice, Nick Selly, number 58, Robert Stashik, and number 28, Justin Bryant.
The toss goes to Franklin, who was elected to defer for the second half. Game's about to get underway. And we're going, at this time, please listen to the Franklin Warrior Band with our national anthem.
Yeah, well.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's broadcast. I am Lou Guglielmo, along with me, the coach, Steve Vergone, and as always, Howard Mr. Gaber on the controls. We would like to welcome you inside the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcast booth, high above the field for tonight's game. Find homes for sale, view virtual tours, receive properties by email, or just learn about great deals in your area with your local agent, Nicholas DeMeglio. For more information, call him at 732-828-9403 or email him at nicholas.demeglio@foxroach.com. You know, Steve, it's an absolutely perfect night here in Franklin for a game. I mean, you couldn't ask for a late October matchup like this inside the conference. The conditions are absolutely perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Keys to the game, as always, going to be winning the turnover battle, staying free of penalties for Franklin, and creating some big plays for the Warriors. Look at number 3, Tony Scott, number 2, Clay Fields, and number 7, Tyke Rhineberry to carry the Warriors as usual tonight.
Getting ready to kick off for Franklin is going to be Asare Bompopari. Deep to receive for Bridgewater, 2 receivers. Ball is kicked and hit by an up-in, picked up, fumbled out the 32, taken by a line and brought down at the 35.
Good job covering that kick by the Warriors, converging on the ball carrier. Nice job.
You know, Coach, when you're an up man like that, expecting to block, what do you do when the ball ends up in your lap?
Fall on it. 100% fall on the football. That's what we teach them. Those big boys are not supposed to do anything but catch it and fall down.
I think we had visions of glory taking one to the rack on that one.
Can't blame him, but I'm sure his coach is giving him an earful right now, letting him know fall on that football.
Bridgewater's quarterback. He comes under center. That'd be Greg Verano. Ball is just eaten alive at the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
No.
Great penetration by Franklin's defensive line, led by, I believe that was Jamil Holmes, number 44.
2nd and 12.
Holmes coming off a great performance last week against Union, nominated for Player of the Week. He is having a fantastic senior season for Franklin right now.
Bridgewater now drops to the gun. Verano deep, single back set. Ball, bubble screen out to receivers. Got some room. He's going downfield. He's at the midway stripe, taken down by behind by Tyke Rhineberry. Tackled at the Franklin 39.
It's number 4, Anthony Goff on that catch, G, and all that is a simple swing pass out to the running back. Somebody needs to be in that flat for the Franklin Warriors. Somebody missed their zone assignment, missed the pickup, and that's why that big play happened.
Looked like there was a little miscommunication at the pre-snap in that vacated area.
Bridgewater looking to take advantage of that right now, lining up no huddle, getting a play off quickly, trying to catch the Warriors off balance.
1st and 10, single back set for the Panthers. In their road whites, handoff to number 4, breaks through the line and gets minimum gain taken down by number 37, Darius Mathis.
Again, that's Goff on the carry, and he looks like he's finding some room on the left side of that Franklin line.
You know, for a high school team, Coach, how much of a game plan stays constant from week to week, or how much of it is it adjusting to what your opponent's doing?
Number 1 thing in high school is about executing your plays.
Incomplete. Verano looks out for number 11, Colton Roseland. He had some room on that left-hand side, Coach.
Simple hit. Should have made that catch. Sure, he's going to be kicking himself, but I'm sure it won't be the only one he gets tonight.
Keeps dropping them like that, then that might be the only one he gets. And then otherwise, it's down to the taxi squad. Verano drop back. Pressure from Franklin. He pulls it down. Cuts it upfield and is met immediately by Darius Mathis, number 37.
Same play that they ran before, the swing pass, except on the opposite side of the field. And Anthony Goff was wide open in the flat again. Franklin's going to have to watch that play because if I'm Bridgewater, I am running that play until Franklin stops it.
So here we are in no man's land, 4th and 3. What is Bridgewater going to do? It does not look like they're going to send the field goal team on the field, so this looks like it's 4-down territory for the Panthers.
Absolutely, and if I'm Bridgewater, I'm running the same exact play and giving the ball out to number 4, Anthony Goff, out in space. Let him make somebody miss.
The time is 9:24 on the clock, 4th and 3, and it looks like a timeout on the field.
Bridgewater looking like they want to see how Franklin lines up.
During this timeout, we'd like to introduce you to our Franklin Administration Athletic Director, who is Mr. Ken Margolin. Oh, it's a penalty. They left a pre-snap penalty. It looked like they would call timeout, but this would be a procedural penalty on Franklin.
Yeah, I didn't see it from up here. Gee, but that's really disappointing if you're Franklin to stop them on 3 downs and then give up the first down on a silly penalty pre-snap.
So it's not quite the crisp Franklin team that we'd expect to come out. Pressure passed off. Ball number 4 picks it up in the middle. Brought down at the 35-yard line. Minimum gain by Goff.
Yeah, not sure why Bridgewater's trying to test the perimeter of the Franklin defense here. Strength of the Warriors is sideline to sideline speed. Bridgewater running outside is going to have a long day of tough sledding if they try to run toss plays like that.
Verano gets the ball. He pulls it down. He takes it up the middle, and his breaks containment. He's got a lane on the outside, and he's dragged down by, it looks like, Clay Fields.
Yeah, Franklin brought the blitz there, G, and just missed him. Ran right past the quarterback. You need to run at his front hip. Don't let him step up the way he did, because once he breaks contain, once he steps up and breaks contain, there's nobody behind him to make the play.
We are 1st and 10, 7:57 to go. Clock running. Dual back set. Verano under center, hands the ball off to Goff. Goff makes a juke at the line, met immediately and brought down by, number 40, Josh Bello.
Warriors getting great penetration into the backfield, but running past Bridgewater's ball carries. You'd love to see them squeeze that down, make the tackle in the backfield instead of trying to get so far upfield.
Coach, what would you call this set they've got here with the big power package? Well,
Full house backfield, G.
They bring the big uglies in to open up some room, huh?
Looks like they're going back to a spread here, though. 3 wide receiver set.
Verano from the gun, fades back, pressured by Franklin, hit, tipped ball, and caught for the touchdown by number 15, Brandon Myers. Verano to Myers, 15-yard pass play on that play, and at 7:04, it is 6-0 Bridgewater. We wait for the kick. Point after touchdown. Franklin has to be stunned with the way that play unfolded.
Simple man coverage, and cornerback got beat.
Ball snap, kicked out, is down, and it is through the uprights at 7:04 left on the clock. The core score is 7-0 Bridgewater. Time for us to take a break and hear from today's sponsor. And we are back here for the kick. Deep to receive, 2 receivers for Franklin. Looks probably like Tyke Rhineberry and number 9, Tai Badro. Set to kick is number 88 for Bridgewater, Joe Murillo. Kick is away. It is short kick on the fly, getting picked up by Rhineberry on the bounce. 2 blockers in front. Big hit by number 13 as Tyke takes it out to the outside. He's got lane. He's making through traffic. He's fighting through blockers and is taken down at the 27-yard line. Big hit by number 13, Emmanuel Elias. Almost thought he might have caught a block in the back there, but he caught him just enough on the side.
Yeah,
apparently.
you want to be careful making blocks back on that on kickoffs and punt returns. You want to make sure that you see the opponent's front jersey number. If you can't see the number, you don't hit him.
The explosiveness of Rhineberry is just unbelievable. He had nothing. That ball was on the ground and dead, and he still managed to almost break it for what would have been the tying score. 7-0 now, Franklin. Tony Scott from the gun. Empty backfield. Badru in motion. The ball handed off to Badru, breaks down and taken down immediately by number 15, their touchdown recipient, Brandon Myers. Big day for Brandon Myers early on in this game.
Yeah, simple jet sweep that time to Badru. Looks like Bridgewater was ready for it, studied that play on film, and knew it was coming.
Tony Scott and Dalen Merricks come into the huddle, coming off the field for Franklin. 6-44. Merricks now looks like the single back set. Scott from the gun. 2 receivers set out wide. Tony drops back, looks downfield, has a man coming across the field. It is Clay Fields, number 2, with a big reception at midfield for the Warriors.
What a job by both Tony Scott and Clay Fields right there, reading the zone coverage. Scott is patient with it. Clay Fields comes across the field, sits in the hole in the middle of that zone. Great job.
What really struck me there is it didn't look like Tony Scott had any kind of happy feet at all. He just sat there like in a rocking chair all day waiting for his receiver to come open.
And that's what you expect from your senior quarterback as the season progresses, that he's going to become more patient. He's going to make better reads. He's going to make better throws. Excellent job by both Scott and Fields there.
2 wide receivers split out each side. Scott calls for the snap. Bubble screen out to right. Tyke Rhineberry, number 7, has a step through the line and brought down. Minimal gain by number 28 for the Panthers. That would be Justin Bryant, one of their game captains.
That bubble screen is basically just an extension of Franklin's run game, trying to get Bridgewater moving laterally and give their playmakers the ball in space. Essentially serves as a 3-yard run for the Warriors to start this set of downs.
Here we are at 5:03 left in the first half, 2nd and 7. Badru tucked in tight to Scott with the quarterback keeper and met immediately by number 9, who shot through the line. That would be Chiki Nwanko. Met Tony for no gain, if not maybe a loss of 3. 3rd down and 10, 4:40 to go here at Franklin.
Not fooling anybody with that QB keep that time was Tony Scott. However, I do think it's important that he shows the willingness to keep the ball on that read option. Make Bridgewater play him and the running back on that play. It'll pay dividends down the line for the Warriors.
3rd down and 10, 4:20 to go here, coming to you from the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcasting booth. Scott under center, Badru. Scott drops back, pressure inside, Tony rolls out. This is where he's dangerous, looking downfield, sees a man, throws, has got a receiver coming open, and intercepted on the out of bounds. That'll be incomplete. Had a man, he had number 9, Tayu Badru, deep behind the coverage, but a nice break on the ball by your Bridgewater Panthers to make that from coming from an from a completion. That's number 22, Nick Visioni, with the incomplete, but attempt at an intercept. Clay Fields, jack of all trades for the Franklin Warriors, is now back to punt, 4th and 10. Ball is pooched. It is a sidewinding kick that makes it generously across the midfield stripe and comes to a settled end at the 42. We are going to commercial. So they're going to stay here. going to stay here. And Steve, how do you feel like the Franklin Warriors really are coming together as a team, given all the problems over the last couple of seasons now?
Well, it's nice to see them put a string of 3 strong games together. You'd love to see a nice answer drive from them here against Bridgewater, but this series right here is going to be key to how this game goes. But as far as the last couple games have gone, they've done much better so far this season.
Verano hands off to Goff. Goff ping-pongs his way up to the 45-yard line of the Bridgewater. 3:40 on the clock, 2nd and 5 from the 45-yard line. 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. You know, I just can't help but think the way that the pride that the Warriors have been showing, though, you know, given the way that past seasons have not gone to script, that this team's still fighting for every down. Flared pass received by 15, who, again, has had a very busy night. That's Brandon Myers. It's his 2nd reception of the evening.
Warriors really vulnerable in the flat right now, G. Linebackers are having a tough time in man coverage, getting out and covering the running backs and tight ends in the flat for Bridgewater. It's really been a problem. They're going to have to address that quickly, or this is going to be another quick score.
Is Bridgewater going against game plan? Are they doing something that Franklin just did not plan for?
I don't think it's that they haven't planned for it. I just think that the Warrior linebackers are having trouble.
Goff met by the swarm of Warrior. A blue wall takes him down, led by number 44 underneath the pile, Jamil Holmes.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are just having trouble fighting through traffic and getting out towards the perimeter and covering both the backs and the tight ends.
2nd and 12, loss of 2 on the play. 2:36 in the first quarter. Verano downfield, looks deep, has a man. Overthrown, again going for number 15, Brandon Myers, covered on the play by Clay Fields.
Yeah, nice coverage there by Fields. Looked like Bridgewater was taking a shot no matter what right there.
You know, you can see the confidence that this defensive staff has in putting Clay Fields out there on an island against a receiver like Myers.
Yeah, Clay has been a player for this Warrior program since he was in 8th grade. I coached him on the Franklin Middle School team, and he's always been a great cover guy, a real smart defender.
Pressure from the Warriors. Verano steps up again, going deep. He's got a man, number 11, just outthrown. Number 11, Colton Roseland, again, a name called very often. What a stop by the Warriors.
Franklin real fortunate right there, G, because Tyke Rhineberry was beat on the play and beaten badly. And it actually looked like, as we were singing Clay Fields' praise, he stopped in the middle of the field. Fortunate that that was an overthrow on that play.
So, deep to punt. Receive the snap for Bridgewater. Kick is away. It is a high end-over-end kick. Franklin moving away from the ball. Luckily calling poison, getting away from that. Almost blocked into it was number 15. So Tony Scott brings the Warriors out. 1st and 10, down 7-0, deep in their own territory. Got to be conservative here, not to risk turnover in a short field, but also not to rein in his aggressiveness, which has made him the success that he's been all season.
Tough assignment right here for Tony Scott. Starting at the 4-yard line, a victory for the Warriors is flipping field position. So I'd like to see them pick a couple of first downs up and then punt the football and flip the field.
Ball is snapped and run into the Warrior line for minimal gain.
Yeah, that's really not going to get it done for the Warriors. That's the teeth of the Bridgewater defense. That's their strength, is their 2 tackles and their linebackers, who are fantastic. The Warriors are going to have to get the ball out on the perimeter if they hope to move the ball.
You think they're going to try a moving pocket, let Tony start, use some of his speed to kind of roll him away from that pressure?
I think in a high school football game, you worry a lot about holding penalties in the end zone. So I'd look for the Warriors to run the ball again, or maybe throw another bubble screen here, get the ball out of his hands quickly.
Two back. Looks like officials are stopping the play. Timeout called by the Warriors. Looked like there was some indecision from Tony and Coach Peczkowski as they were talking before the snap, and Coach probably just didn't like what he saw and decided to smartly use a timeout here and, reset.
All right, we'd like to take this opportunity to read to you the Bridgewater coaching staff. All right, I'm sorry. The head coach for the Bridgewater Panthers is Scott Bray. Assistant coaches Colin Clifford, James Davis, Dan Kavanaugh, Ed Knapp, Kyle Paustian, Jim Stanley, Jamar Thigpen, and Nicholas Timpone.
Unlike linesman Robert Cancro, I did not get taught by any of those. Although I'm sure they are wonderful instructors in their own right.
Look for the Warriors to come out in a very similar formation and run the ball here. I'd expect them to be very conservative, but also keep in the back of their minds that their punt team has been struggling all season.
Ball is handed off, and again, brought down. Did he break the plane with the ball, or is this going to be a safety? They're going to give him forward progress. Franklin, 3rd and 10. The clock is now running down to the end of the first quarter. Will they get a play off before the time ends? Looks like they will.
I'd expect another run right up the gut from the Warriors.
3rd and 11. Ball handed off. Breaking through slightly, had a spin move. Hit the circle button on the joystick.
Yeah, that was Brandon Myers, big fullback right there, running hard, giving the Warriors a little bit of room to punt.
That's our own Brandon Myers. That's the Franklin Brandon Myers as opposed to the Panthers Brandon Myers. Both active in this game. It's a Brandon Myers kind of night.
Looks like the Warriors are going to be content to let the clock expire here.
Quarter will be ending. And at the end of the first quarter of play, your score is 7-0 Bridgewater. Time for us to take a break and hear from today's sponsor. All Hallows Eve has struck here at Franklin Field as the ghost of Warrior Past looms over the Bridgewater sideline. Hopefully this makes some funky things happen on the punt. What do you say, Coach?
Hopefully it's showing some threatening signs for the Panthers and not for the Warriors, but we'll see how this plays out, as Franklin gets set to punt.
Coach Peczkowski employing some different tactics. Apparently the cover screen is literally cover. Ball kicked away. It is a sidewinding kick taken on a line by Bridgewater. Again, Verano brings it with a head of steam, brought down to the 20-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Looks like it's going to be holding, probably on the Warriors.
You really hope that this wasn't in the end zone when it occurred.
Maybe where he threw the flag is a good indicator. Flag landing at the 9-yard line of Franklin.
It's actually holding against the Panthers.
Wow. Franklin is that going to be enough to give Franklin a first down?
It's during the play. It's during the punt. So I don't believe this will be Warrior football, but it will negate that big return by Verano.
Gotcha.
Franklin really needs to get it together on both punt and punt coverage right now.
Well, we've seen Franklin also, able to get pressure on Verano at times tonight. This would be a major sequence to, be able to drive the Panthers backwards, or at the very least let them have a long field goal attempt, because high school football and, the accuracy of field goal kickers is not exactly like that of the pros.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Warriors essentially losing this game in special teams. The punt and now the punt return really costing the Warriors in terms of field position.
I want to take a moment to send a special wish to captain of the cheerleading team, Olivia Fraser, who is recovering from surgery and unable to perform tonight, but she's down on the sidelines with her Franklin Warrior cheerleaders. And everybody here at Franklin wishes you a speedy recovery.
Great to see her and her teammates down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, the call was holding on Bridgewater, and it brings the ball all the way back to the midfield stripe, ball on the 49-yard line, the Franklin side of the 49-yard line. But considering that they were down deep in Warrior territory, that has got to be a bit of a relief. But not that Franklin can rest easy on this, though, Coach.
No, absolutely not. Warriors got to take advantage of this mistake by Bridgewater and stop them 3 and out right here. Has to be the goal for the Franklin Warriors.
Verano goes down. He's looking deep. He's got a man on a step, and once again overthrows his receiver, number 11, Colton Roseland.
It's Tyke Rhineberry in coverage, and he keeps getting beat on that post route. Bridgewater has thrown it to a couple different receivers now where they've faked out to the flag and then brought it back to the post. Franklin running man coverage, no help in the middle of the field, and they're getting beat right now.
I was just about to ask you, do you start to roll a safety over to that side of the field to kind of add a little something over the top? Or
you would, except that this is Franklin's defense. Their defense is to play lockdown man coverage, to blitz from the outside, and to take their chances with the athletes that they have.
Looks like we are now going the other way a little bit, holding on the defense. I guess considering how deep and beat he was, you'd rather maybe give up the penalty than the score. But again, we're giving extra yards to the Panthers that they don't need. 2-back set for Bridgewater. Verano taking signals from the side. Franklin penetrates, pulled down, cleared, incomplete. Intended for number 5, Kyle Nickel, son of a Franklin employee, Bill Nickel. A little mixed reaction there on the sideline. We are proud of our children, but nonetheless, we don't want them beating us.
Yeah, Franklin defender got beat again on that slant route. Warriors are giving up inside position to these Bridgewater receivers. You got to take that away. First rule playing man coverage is you have to take away the inside. Can't let the receiver beat you inside.
Nickel spread out wide. 2-back set for Bridgewater. Verano calling set, receives a snap. Pressure in on the Warriors. He steps up to evade. Throws, has a man on the sideline. Going for Brandon Myers, who brings it in. And it looks like it's a good catch. Myers hauls it in inside the Franklin 20 as we move into the red zone.
Yeah, Franklin's going to have to get out of this man coverage if they're going to win this game, or if they're going to get back into this game. Bridgewater receivers are just beating them on almost every route right now. You'd love to see them step up and either play a little bit tighter if they're going to continue in man, get these receivers off their routes, because right now the free release is killing them.
Verano under center this time. He turns. Handoff is to Goff. Met immediately at the line. Dragged down by number 40, Josh Bello.
Bello did a great job squeezing that play down from the backside that time. Excellent job getting one step in the backfield, squeezing down and making the play.
Why would you go under center there when you get inside the red zone, Coach?
It's sort of related to that question you asked me before. High school football teams run their plays, and they try to execute their plays. It's not so much about game plan as it is about execution at this level.
So even though the shotgun and spread set was working, you just run what you're comfortable with.
I'm sure that this is a red zone play for the Bridgewater Panthers, and this is something that they feel is a bread and butter play for them.
Now, wouldn't that, you think, aid the Warriors, who scouted and seen, constant looks of inside the huddle of what they're going to do when they get here?
Yeah, but you have to remember that these are 16, 17-year-old kids, and they need repetition more than anything else. So repping the same plays and getting better at your plays is generally what coaches work on.
Verano pulls the ball back, rolls out to his right, looks, throws, has a man coming up the end zone, and again is complete to number 11, Colton Roseland. That has got to be frustrating for Coach Peczkowski and the Warrior staff to see Roseland come open again on virtually the same play that Brandon Myers scored on earlier.
I mean, again, it's the Warriors' man coverage breaking down right now. When you play man coverage the way the Warriors are, you have to focus on your receiver, and that time they got caught peeking into the backfield, biting on that play fake instead of covering their receiver.
Kick is away and through for Bridgewater. And with that score, it is now 14-0 Bridgewater. We're going to stay here on the field. Like to welcome our Franklin Warrior administrators. Our superintendent of schools is Dr. John A. Ravalli. Our assistant business superintendent for business administration is Mr. John Toth. Our assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction is Mr. Daniel Logren. Our director of school management is Mr. Orville Wilson. Director of pupil personnel services is Dr. Brenda Sofield. Our manager of human resources is Mr. Brian Bonanno. Our coordinator of policies is Ms. Mary Clark. And our acting Franklin High School principal is Dr. Beth Ebler. Bridgewater getting ready to kick off from the 40. Back to receive is Rhineberry and Tayo Badru. Number 88 set to kick for is Aaron Gao. Gao steps to the ball, puts his foot through it. It is a pooch kick. Ball is loose and is being scrummed for between the Warriors, and looks like it's a Bridgewater recovery.
Need to fall on that football if you're the Warriors.
Number
right
37 for the Panthers. That would be Martin Mitchell. That did not look like a bad kick. That looked like an intentional onside, a pooch, catch Franklin napping. That would be a directional kick with the intent of, catching Franklin in between had to go 10 yards and catch Franklin in between. A little timeout on the field here.
Step up and come up with a big time stop right here. If they don't, this game is going to start to get out of hand. Want to see them make the Panthers go 3 and out. I'd also expect Bridgewater to look for a big play and really swing this momentum in their favor.
There's head soccer coach Eric Osmond on the field. He is Mr. Warrior with his alumni status, teaching status, coaching status, and now broadcaster for the Warriors. He's our version of Bugs Bunny. 10-28, 14-0 Bridgewater. Bridgewater with the ball. Franklin has not even had a chance really to establish themselves offensively because the only real drive that they had was so deep inside their own end zone they were forced to run the ball and not do what they do best.
Yeah, first drive by Franklin really showed some promise, but I think giving up that score immediately afterwards was a little deflating, and then you had the really short punt by Clay Fields after that. Seemed to take the wind out of the Warriors' sails a little bit. Let's see if they can get it back here, the big stop on defense.
If you look at the box scores up and down for Franklin this season, you just see that one quarter that just puts up a big number, whether it was the fourth quarter in Phillipsburg where they put up 20 or early on against Montgomery where Franklin was dominating and then Montgomery showed a little life late in the fourth quarter. Against Westfield, 14 points in the fourth quarter. And Hunterdon Central got out early, and Franklin managed to make it a game. So perhaps here at Franklin Field, again, the Berkshire Hathaway Realtor Broadcasting booth, maybe we can make a comeback and again reclaim some of that swagger that we were, had so early at the coin toss.
Yeah, the Warriors are going to need a big play here. They're going to need a big momentum-shifting play from one of their playmakers, Clay Fields, Tyke Rhineberry, Jamil Holmes at defensive end. Somebody needs to step up, create a turnover for the Warriors here, and change the complexion of this game.
The Bill Belichick formula, Steve, is to score late in the half, defer the toss, and then get the ball coming out of the half. So here, there's plenty of time left for the Warriors to make good with their possessions. They just need to really stop Bridgewater here.
Yeah, absolutely. And the officials still seem to be discussing something down there on the field. I'm not sure if they're talking about if it was touched before the ball went 10 yards. That seems to be what the debate is over, but it looks like Bridgewater is going to keep the football.
Well, if they need, we do have instant replay up here, thanks to Mr. Howard Gaber and HSG Productions. Fake pitch. Verano looks deep. He wants it all. Has Roseland coming open and defended nicely by number 12, Dennison O'Brien.
Yeah, Dennison right there makes a great play to break it up.
Sorry, that was Dwayne Jefferson on the play.
Jefferson did a great job breaking up that play. But really, this is a huge underthrow by Verano. He had his receiver by 4 or 5 steps. All he needed to do was lay it out there for him. Franklin beat again in man coverage.
Verano hands the ball, takes it to Goff, pulls it back himself, breaks to the outside, met immediately, and dragged down by Tyke Rhineberry.
Yeah, great tackle, touchdown-saving tackle there by Rhineberry because Verano had a lane and he had a head of steam going right there.
3rd and 6 now for the Bridgewater Panthers. Ball at the 36-yard line of the Warriors. Probably 2-down territory. If you're going to kick an onside kick, it doesn't look like you're going to take your foot off the gas and try to punt with the midfield position. Ball snapped to Verano. Verano again looking downfield, sees a man, throws, coming open is 5 nickel. But again, incomplete. 18 again on coverage, Dwayne Jefferson for the Warriors.
Verano's a little bit off with these throws down the field right now. His receivers are getting open. They're beating the Franklin coverage. He just isn't putting enough touch on his balls right now.
Okay, we're 4th and 6 now. It brings back to the question. And yes, Bridgewater is going for it. Goff, the single back set. Two wide receivers split out wide. Verano looking that way. Eyes locked downfield. Ball thrown again. Broken away. Led the receiver by number 18, Dwayne Jefferson, who's getting his sprints in this game.
Jefferson getting picked on a little bit by Bridgewater right now, but doing a good job. He broke up 2 passes on that drive, and even though they were underthrows by Greg Verano, Jefferson doing a great job recovering and then making a play on the football for the Warriors. Huge stop for him right there.
Is that a defensive change for the Warriors? Is Jefferson brought in, and I don't see. Well, Rhineberry is still in on the game, but have they switched up their coverages at all?
That looks like they're attacking the nickel corner for Franklin right now. They're going after the slot, both from the tight end position and slot receiver.
So turnover on downs. 1st and 10 now for Franklin, where the ball should have been recovered off the onside kick attempt. So again, Tony Scott takes the ball, pulls back, hands off, looks for the pitch, has a man, ball taken by number 14, slight step. That would be Dalen Merrick's. Looks like his feet slipped out on him, and he was unable to get any momentum going forward.
Yeah, on the option like that, you want to see Tony Scott make a little bit more decisive play with that ball, either pitch it or keep it, but don't stand there and wait for the defenders to come to you. It gives everybody a chance to pursue the football, and more defenders a chance to get there for that option play.
Gain of 1 by Merrick's after all of that. 2nd and 9, ball on the 36-yard line. Single back set is Merrick's. Merrick's replacing Badru. Scott takes the ball, looking downfield, throwing deep. Got a man, Tyke Rhineberry. And the ball is just incomplete. Rhineberry unable to bring it in.
Fantastic throw right there by Tony Scott. Great effort by Rhineberry. Just barely couldn't bring that ball in. That would have been a huge play for Franklin if he could have brought that ball in.
Could not see where if Rhineberry got his hands on the ball.
That play will be there again for the Warriors. Rhineberry ran right by 2 defenders. He will have another chance to make that play.
Once again, the ghost of Franklin Past is hovering over the Warriors. Clay Field split out to the left. Scott under center. Merrick's behind the single back set. Scott looks, sees some pressure, rolls away for the coverage, and is brought down by the sack from Bridgewater by number 51, Nick Chelly.
Only 2 men out in routes that time for Franklin, and both of them were covered. When Scott didn't see it, he had nowhere to go with the ball. Took the sack right there. Great coverage, but Warriors probably going to need to send more than 2 receivers out into routes next time. Bridgewater looking like they're going to bring the house on this
Clay
punt block.
Fields with the punt, much better punt this time. Ball received again by Verano, puts his foot in the turf, hard right, gets down, fumble! Ball recovery, looks like it's a Franklin recovery. Bridgewater stripping at the ball, but that looks like it's going to be blue ball.
Clearly
and
recovered by Franklin right there.
Warrior football. Darylin Merricks with the recovery. Heads up play by Darylin Merricks to fall on that football.
What a strip by the Warriors right there, and then a great recovery. This could be the play that they were looking for to shift this momentum back in their favor.
Let's see if Coach Peczkowski can take advantage of it. Once again, Tony Scott in the gun. Darylin Merricks to his right. Ball pitched to Merricks. Puts his foot in the ground. Kept by Scott. Tony's got it. Oh. Handed off to Rhineberry. Oh, it wasn't Tony Scott. That was Tyke Rhineberry from the quarterback position.
Tyke in there to make some plays with his legs for the Warriors right now, and it's a great job keeping the ball right there.
Yeah.
Sticking his foot in the ground and taking advantage of the fact that Bridgewater is playing 4 defenders deep right now. They've got both safeties playing about 12, 15 yards off the ball. Corners playing off. And Franklin needs to be able to run the football in this
it looks
situation.
like they're going to stay with Tyke Rhineberry as the Wildcat formation. This time, I'm ready for it. Rhineberry holds the ball, keeps. Holt looks like there's a penalty, so
this is going to be a hold on number 44, Jamil Holmes.
Ball's coming back. Looks like there's a Warrior down. Looks like tying a shoe, though, so we have an equipment malfunction for the Warriors. Rhineberry's speed is breathtaking.
It is. He put his edge blocker in a tough position right there. Anytime a play is designed to go inside and the ball carrier bounces it out, your instinct as a blocker is to hold on to that defender. That's what happened there to Jamil Holmes.
Looks like he held on to that defender the way that Marshawn Lynch held on to the referee last night. Only this one ends up in a penalty, not an ejection and a suspension. Ball will be 1st and 20 on the Bridgewater 47-yard line.
Warriors need to come right back in with that run game. Look how far Bridgewater safeties are playing off the ball right now. They're almost 15 yards, 16 yards when the ball is snapped.
Ball released by Scott. Has a man complete. Clay Fields takes a big hit by seemingly the entire Bridgewater defense. Looks like Clay came to a stop, thought the play was going to be dead, but the ref never blew it, and the Bridgewater kept pursuing the ball.
Yeah, great job by Clay Fields just holding on to that football. Good catch, gets most of that penalty yardage back. Franklin right back on schedule now on 2nd down.
Looks like 2nd and 4 for the Warriors. This time the ball at the 30-yard line. Easy to tell when the ball's actually on the yard line. Up here in the booth with Howard Gaber to my right, the coach Steve Ragone to my left. And young Jariah McCray spotting for the production. Tony sets his foot, throws deep, he's got a man. Rhineberry coming open. And is that ball intercepted? No, it is out of bounds. 2 Bridgewater receivers on the play, number 7 and 8. That would be number 8, Tyler Ball, aptly named, coming up with the ball, and number Alex Fromberg there for the assist against Rhineberry. Is that forcing the ball there or just?
That's taking a shot to your best playmaker on the outside, and Tony Scott threw a good ball. He put it where either Rhineberry was going to make a play or the defenders weren't going to be able to come down with it inbounds. So
the interception is irrelevant because he was not going to be able to stay inbounds.
Absolutely.
Is he trying to throw Rhineberry open there or just hope and pray?
I think he's hoping that his guy is going to make a better play than their guy is.
Scott under center pitches to Merrick's. Merrick's looking to throw. Merrick throws a ball deep for Clay Fields. Touchdown! No. Yes, he held on to the ball. He held on to the ball. Fields slow played it like he didn't do anything at all, but what a throw by Merrick's. And Clay Fields with the reception for the Warriors. That's the shot we need.
That was all Clay Fields on that play. That ball should have never been thrown. Merrick should have run that, tucked it under and run. He threw it up there, let his guy make a play, and Clay Fields did exactly that.
Here, Franklin for the extra point. The kick is up. It is away. It is true. It is good. And with 5:54 left on the clock in the second quarter, your score is Bridgewater 14 and your Warriors 7. Time for us to take a break and hear from today's sponsor. We'd like to welcome you inside the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcast booth, high above the field for today's game. We are in the second quarter. Franklin's stands are abuzz at the dramatics of the play from Merrick to Fields. 14-7 Bridgewater, but life reinvigorated, injected into this Warrior franchise.
Yeah, that was exactly the kind of play the Warriors needed to shift this game back in their favor. Now let's see if the defense can continue that.
Sorry, Bompo parry to kick off here. Ball is kicked, squibbed end over end, picked up by the up man for Bridgewater. He's got a hole, breaks through the line, brought down, slung down to the ground at the 45-yard line by number 4, Brandon Asare.
Yeah, nice job by Asare, but you'd love to see the rest of the Warriors kickoff team make a play on that football. They had him at the 20-yard line. Could have made a tackle, but ran past him. Kickoff team needs to break down, form tackle.
Verano in under gun again. Going back, back under center again is what I actually was trying to say. 11 comes in motion. Brandon Myers looks like the Warriors were a little eager on that play. Interesting to see Myers come in motion. They haven't run motion before.
Yeah. First time we've seen Bridgewater run motion. I'd expect to see them use the clock a little bit right here. Run the football, try to run this first half out.
Well, as we said, Franklin does get the ball the second half. If they can get a quick stop here and manage to even put another field goal up on the board, that'll be a big momentum shift. Myers again comes in motion. Ball handed off to Goff. Goff met at the line, brought down, minimal gain. 2nd and 5. Brought down by number 44, Jameel Holmes.
Yeah, good job by Franklin there. But this is what happens when you take early penalties, is a 3-yard gain by Bridgewater puts them in a great position on second down.
Yeah, 2nd and 2. Verano under center. Full jumbo package for the Panthers. Goff, the deep set, he makes a break through the line. He's deep into Warrior territory and is brought down. First down, Panthers, brought down by number 18, Dwayne Jefferson.
Yeah, Goff's got a little bit of wiggle to him, and it's going to be a challenge for the Warriors to continue to bring him down the way that they did. The strategy seems to be to hit him in the backfield and not let him get ahead of steam, but if you miss, you see what he can do with the football.
Coming to you from the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcast booth, Nicholas DeMeglio, Realtor. Myers in motion. Verano looks, has a man on the side. Flag down in the corner. Myers complete, but might it be offensive? A little OIP, OPI.
Clearly offensive pass interference right there. Defender got shoved in the back right before receiver made a play on the ball. Easy call for the officials right there. But again, Bridgewater using motion to see what kind of coverage the Warriors are using, and then throwing it to a receiver, throwing it at a defensive back who they know his back is turned.
Clearly Bridgewater has no interest in stopping the clock or keeping the clock running to take this down to the halftime with this lead, because that pass, well, they were clearly they're keeping the foot on the gas, because that was a shot to score. That was not just a possession pass.
No, absolutely not. Bridgewater seeing something from this Warrior defense right now and trying to take advantage of it.
But, Franklin's got athletes, and we can cover, and that always, speed never slumps. That's one of the old adages you hear all the time. Stands are filling up nicely here in Warrior Field. Verano, single back set, steps back, looks, throws, has a little flare, uncovered, will be running for days. Met and nice, all or nothing tackle by Jefferson on the left sideline. That would be Justin Bryant.
Yeah, Justin Bryant does a great job. This is the same play they ran on that first drive of the game, where they bring two receivers across the field and then leak the running back out into the flat. And the Warriors aren't there again. Linebackers getting lost in coverage right there.
I mean, is somebody supposed to stay home? Is that just somebody keep containing it? Is that just
somebody is responsible for the back out of the backfield and isn't getting into the flat?
Verano drops the ball intercept. Pressure from the Warriors. He throws. Man coming open is Myers. And the ball is complete to Myers. That would be Colton Roseland. Number 11, Colton Roseland.
Heck of a throw right there by Verano. He is moving forward to his left and puts that ball on a dime on the sideline out to Roseland. Nothing the Warrior defender could do. He was right there on his hip. Perfect throw, great catch. Got to give credit to the Panthers right there.
I mean, Franklin's only given up 445 net yards passing all season. Ball handed off to Goff. Goff fighting his way and is into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown.
Just power football right there, G. Bridgewater lining up, telling the Warriors they're going to run it, and then executing. Great job by Goff there, fighting his way into the end zone.
We'll have a special treat for you at halftime, as Franklin Athletic Director Ken Margolin will join us up here inside the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcasting booth. For all your real estate needs, call Nicholas DeMeglio at 732-828-9403. And the kick is true, much like the realtor experience you will have with Nicholas DeMeglio. With 4:25 in the first half, your score is 21-7. Time to Bridgewater.
Well, gut check time here for the Warriors with 4:25 left in the half. They're going to need to put some points on the board, or at least put a drive together to gain some of that momentum back.
And it's not like they're not capable of it. We've seen them score quick. We've seen them explosive. I just think they're stunned that they cannot get to Verano. I mean, there's no pressure. He's had all day to throw, and the amount of time it takes for his receivers to come open that deep downfield, he's got 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket easily.
What's really surprising to me is that the Warriors are not mixing up their coverage at all right now. They're sticking with man-to-man coverage despite getting beat on almost every play. At the very least, they need to change the leverage that they're playing with. The cornerbacks need to take away that inside because Bridgewater's beating them on inside routes pretty much every play.
That would be Aaron Gow ready to kick off for the Panthers. Ball this time again. The small pooch. He's got a man on the side. The up man received from Franklin. Looks like it was taken and caught by number 5. Rome Cruz flagged down. I'm not sure what the flag would be for. It could be a late hit possibly by the Panthers as Cruz got hit pretty hard as he received that catch. Not going to call fair catch interference on anything like that.
I didn't see Cruz wave his hand for a fair catch. But the receiver does need to have the opportunity to catch the ball cleanly, and it does look like this is going to be kick-catch interference.
Yes, sir. And they're marching it off against the Panthers. This is a break for the Warriors with 4:21. Still plenty of time left in the first half. And again, I keep coming back to it. A score here at the end of the half and a ball back at the start of the second quarter could erase this deficit fairly quickly.
Yeah, and Bridgewater keeping Franklin in this game with penalties. This is a big penalty. The holding penalty on that punt return was huge. They're giving back field position to the Warriors right here. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Looks like a procedure penalty against the Warriors. False start. Franklin not helping their own cause. They get a gift. They give it right back. Ball placed at the 49-yard line of Bridgewater.
You know, it goes against the game plan a little bit right now, but the Warriors really having success throwing the ball the way Bridgewater is playing coverage right now, playing off with all 4 members of their secondary. Actually, 3 defenders playing off. It looks like number 8, Tyler Ball, is playing up on his receiver, but really playing back. Slants, hitches, wide open for the Warriors right here.
Scott receives a snap, rolls to his right, looking downfield, throws on the run, put ball up into coverage, leaping for the catch is number 2, Clay Fields, a little shaken up on the play.
Yeah, Scott throwing the ball back across his body into the middle of the field, committing one of the cardinal sins of a quarterback right there, rolling right, throwing left. Put his receiver in a tough spot. Great effort by Clay Fields going up for that ball, though.
That is the aggressiveness of Tony Scott that we've talked about. It's what's made him a success, but it also causes a few risks every now and then. Wait, and a Warrior down at, it looks like, Clay Fields.
Took a big shot to the back on that play.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Berkshire Hathaway Realtors. Your local agent is Nicholas DeMeglio and can be reached at 732-829-9403. Call him today for all of your realty needs. Franklin training staff attending to Clay Fields. You know, certainly you don't want to see any player hurt, but a player of that nature for Franklin. Looks like Fields is up and walking off on his own power. The trainers are Anthony Brito and Matt Elmeyer. So looks like maybe Fields got the wind knocked out of him from that. Landed on his back hard.
Yeah, it might be. It's good to see him walk off the field because, like you said, Clay Fields really is the heart and soul of this team, especially on defense. Hate to lose him, so it's great to see him get up and walk that off.
I was talking to assistant coach Joe Porter today, who pointed out that Clay Fields was named in the most recent NJ.com 20 players under the radar for recruiting, and you know, a real steal for any school looking for a quality player. Tony Scott calls for the snap, looks back, plenty of time, rolls out to his left, looking downfield, throws the ball again, and it looks like it is intercepted this time through the triple coverage by number 32. Peter Uswick of Bridgewater. Is that just going to the well one too many times, Coach?
Bridgewater sitting back in zone coverage. Safety's reading Tony Scott's eyes. He probably didn't see that defender when he made that throw.
So Bridgewater takes over deep in Franklin territory, or in their own territory, so it's not as necessarily that the interception itself was so costly in terms of flipping the field, but you know, you need opportunities, you need to score. And Bridgewater has been taking it to them. Do you look for a quick change possession? Do you look for Bridgewater to try to take another shot downfield?
Up 21-7 with 4 minutes to play. I bet you see Bridgewater run the ball a couple times here, see if they can make something happen on the ground, play it conservative.
Verano under center. Hands the ball off to Goff, who breaks through. Doesn't need to go downfield if he can get it all in 1 yard line. Brought down by 2 Franklin defenders. Tyke Rhineberry on the tackle. Ball now at the Franklin 45-yard line. Big first down run for Goff.
Big test here for the Warriors. After that run, absolutely critical that they get a stop here. Defense might be tired, might be gassed, but they need to get themselves
Ball handed
into
off back to
halftime.
Goff, going right back to him. The big man is running again, chewing up big chunks of yardage. Once again, brought down by Rhineberry and the team, number 51, also number 6 in on the play, Brandon Myers of Franklin. Looks like an official is kneeling. So Bridgewater was a state finalist. They was last year, and then of course they lost to Westfield in the finals. And Coach, we are familiar with Westfield as they came in here for the last time we were together up here in the Berkshire Hathaway broadcast booth for their 27th, 28th at that time win in a row.
Yeah, both Bridgewater and Westfield are great teams, but Franklin can play with them. They're hanging in this game right now. They need to eliminate the silly penalties, and they need to eliminate, some of these big plays that Bridgewater is able to get.
Checking in for the Warriors is Quazir Byram. Looks like there is a holding penalty on the Bridgewater Panthers, which probably explains why Goff was able to get through that line so quickly. Coming off is Mathis, 37. Ball will be placed inside, looks like the 49-yard line of the Panthers, 48-yard line of the Panthers. Referee set the ball under center. Again, the yellow hanky is the greatest weapon the Warriors have tonight.
Yeah, Bridgewater really beating themselves up with penalties right now. That's the third major penalty that they've taken that's negated some really important plays for them.
It's like a timeout on the field. So we're going to stay here throughout the timeout. I mean, Coach, at what point do you just say that, we're getting close to coming back in this game, and then we take 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards?
Well, I mean, it's pretty clear that's what Franklin did on that last drive, but the key is to not let it cost you points. The key is for the defense to come out, pick up their teammate who made a mistake, an aggressive mistake, but pick up your teammate and get that offense back on the field.
As you see, tonight is a pink celebration in October as the Franklin Athletics Department celebrates breast cancer awareness. We think of and salute all those who have known or been touched by someone experiencing this and other terrible forms of cancer. Great show of solidarity by the Warriors, football, cheerleaders, fans, even your broadcasters, getting into the Franklin pink spirit for Pink October. .336 on the clock, 1st and 16. Ball at the 48-yard line, 21-7 is your score. Looks like Verano going under center.
I would not be surprised to see Bridgewater run the same play for the 3rd time in a row right here. Play action.
Verano again looking deep. Got Myers coming open. Coverage up top. Jefferson took the man. Incomplete for Myers.
Much better job in coverage that time, not giving up his inside leverage. Excellent, excellent job. That's why he was able to make that play.
It was number 9, Tayu Badro, who had coverage over the top.
Also a great job of both defenders not peeking into the backfield. That's what's cost Franklin a couple of times on play fakes, is looking into the backfield rather than watching the receiver that they're responsible for. Nice job by both defenders right there.
But do these deep throws prevent now Franklin from trying to get aggressive and go for a blitz or go for pressure?
I mean, they are blitzing almost every play. The problem is that they're not getting
there. Ball swung out wide, caught in the Bridgewater backfield by number 28, makes a move out to the sideline, stiff arms his way. That is Justin Bryant. Big man Justin Bryant rumbles and stumbles his way all the way out to the Warrior 40-yard line. Down.
And there he is, Dennison standing up and walking off the field under his own power. That's great to see.
Yeah, that's a great sign. A big round of applause from both teams, and Bridgewater and Franklin fans saluting number 12, O'Brien Dennison. Looks a little ginger, but nonetheless, he's walking off on his own power. Pat on the back from Coach Peczkowski. And he's into the good care from Elmeyer and Brito, the training staff here at Franklin. He takes a seat on the bench as they look. So we are back here, 3rd and 5 now with 3:19 left to go in the game, in the half. Verano under center. It looks like early movement.
This is a big call right here, either way.
Looks like a false start, number 15. Brandon Myers of Bridgewater.
Little anxious right there, and Bridgewater is definitely going to run the football. That is now off the table for them on 3rd and long.
A little anxious for Myers. It's amazing when you have the kind of game he's had all day and then you make a mistake like that. So here we go now, 3rd and 5. 3rd and 10. Verano rolls out, got some pressure deep in his backfield, off his back foot, throws it up for grabs. Incomplete. That was a dangerous throw from the quarterback of Bridgewater.
Both the Warriors and the Panthers fortunate on that play. There was a running back wide open in the flat again for the Panthers, who Verano just didn't have time to see. And then he threw up a prayer that was very, very lucky to fall down innocently to the turf.
Perhaps the ghost of Franklin Past had some interference with that and got a little...
That and the Warriors' defensive line.
So looks like Aaron Gow is into punt, number 88 for the Bridgewater. 3:09, still a chance for Franklin to do something, but I'd love to get a Rhineberry run back here. Certainly would. Ball is kicked, rolled out to the right, rugby-style kick, end over end. Ball on the turf, scooped up, turn the corner. Tayo Badru get a chance to go up the sideline and tiptoed and knocked out of bounds at the 20-yard line of the Warriors.
Not the way you draw a punt return up, but nonetheless, Badru makes a play, makes a couple men miss, and gets the ball out to the 20 for the Warriors, who now have some room to operate.
A lot of confidence in Badru to pick up that ball, but it looked like he should have just maybe let it go.
Yeah, I'm sure his coach is telling him something about that on the sideline right now, but what can you say when a kid makes a play like that?
I mean, the ball most likely would have died inside the 5, but the chance that it could have gotten to the end zone and be back in the 20 anyway.
Sure. Nonetheless, though, good play by Badru. Not going to practice it that way, but not going to yell at him for making a play either.
All right. It's like a... that should have been an interception. Tony didn't even see the big man, number 28 from Bridgewater, Justin Bryant, who had visions of 6 in his eyes and then dropped the football.
Tony Scott going with his first read right there, and Justin Bryant read his eyes, took him right to the football, just couldn't hang on to it.
You know, for those who are concerned, O'Brien Dennison is up on his feet on the Franklin sideline, talking to his teammates. Seems to be in good spirits for whatever he went through. Hand off kept by Rhineberry again. The Wildcat. Rhineberry breaks through the line, breaks through one tackle, and brought down by number 4, Anthony Goff. Two-way man. Rhineberry had one man to beat. If he had Goff beat, he was deep in the secondary. He might have been off to the races. 3rd and 2 for the Warriors. Ball on the 28-yard line. Sticking with the Wildcat. Rhineberry under center. Scott split out wide. Merrick's in the backfield. Ball handed off to Merrick's. Looks like a flag down. This could be motion on the Warriors. False start for Franklin. Again, down 14. Cannot afford that kind of penalty.
Yeah, it's still going to be 3rd and manageable for the Warriors, but 3rd and 1 is much easier, needless to say, than 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
A lot more plays in the playbook for 3rd and 1.
I would like my chances with Merrick's with a full head of steam to pick up 1 yard.
Big play here for the Warriors, but game is not going to come down to this play. They still get the ball to start the second half. They need to be smart with the football, make sure they don't turn it over here.
Ryanberry hands off to Merrick's. Merrick's with the hole. He's through into the midfield stripe and brought down at the 45-yard line. Big 20-yard burst for Dalen Merrick's.
Yeah, and that's what Tyke Ryanberry keeping the football all those times does to the defense. They can't commit to the running back because they have to play the quarterback.
Nice offensive change by Coach Petchkowski to catch Bridgewater in between. So now we've got like a timeout on the field. We have a clock adjustment, 10 seconds being added to the clock. We have a home cooking for the Warriors. I'm sure they'll take that anytime.
Well, in high school, you know, the clock stops on a first down, and it looked like just forgot to do that right there.
So Ryanberry holds, puts his foot in the turf, and he's got it lane to the outside, pushes through one man, stiff arms his way down to the 27-yard line, to the 33-yard line. 1:29, clock stop, 1st and 10. Now the Warriors have a little momentum going late in the first half, trying to get a score to bring them within 7 to go into the locker room.
Yeah, this read option has the Bridgewater Panthers off balance. They don't know who has the football, don't know who's running with it. They're not seeing it fast enough right now, and Tyke Ryanberry is taking advantage of it along with Dylan Merrick's.
Ryanberry in the Wildcat. Puts the ball in the belly of Merrick's. Merrick's through the line. He's got a man on the outside. He's down the sideline. He is out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Nice small move by Merrick's as he gets through the whole line. Looks like the refs are going to mark him outside the 10, inside the red zone, down at the 11-yard line. But he's also got out of bounds and stopped the clock, Coach.
Yeah, and Bridgewater actually brought extra defenders into the box on that play. Still can't stop it. Still can't figure out who has the football. They need to make some adjustments on their sideline right now and have their players play responsibility. They need to know their responsibilities on defense.
We have a timeout on the field. Franklin is now really pushing the gas pedal down, has moved the ball significantly downfield. With about a minute left to play in the half, a chance to really bring some momentum into the locker room.
Yeah, and Franklin doing a great job running the football. You're going to see them do that again right here. Run that play until it gets stopped. Tyke Ryanberry, Dylan Merrick's doing an awesome job keeping that defense of Bridgewater off balance.
Now, when you have Merrick's and Ryanberry with the read option, is there any type of misdirection that you can run off of this if Bridgewater finally starts to stay home? Can Ryanberry just pull it up and pass? Is that would something be open in the top?
I've never seen Tyke throw the ball at the varsity level before, but he has played quarterback at both freshman and JV before, has thrown it there, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen here.
There, the ball handed off, taken down. Ryanberry, one leg, never down, brought down, still fighting for it. Looks like Bridgewater had great penetration in on that play. Looks like number 33, Lawrence Nice.
Yeah, and what you saw there was Bridgewater played their responsibilities. Instead of everybody running after one of the ball carriers for Franklin, you had them play responsibility. They played their responsibilities well that play.
Ryanberry takes the ball, takes a big hit. Again by 33. Little Ginger getting up is Ryanberry. That was a big hit he took as he crossed into the... Looks like Franklin's taking their final timeout of the half.
Probably going to see them take 2 shots at the end zone right here, G. Try to get this score to 1 touchdown before halftime.
Did you bring Tony back in to go into conventional quarterback play here?
I think you will, because they're going to want to throw the ball without a timeout right now.
A lot of decision-making down on the Warrior sideline as you have maybe, 2 shots here. Like to get it done in one, but 2 shots. Well,
Right now you're calling your best play in the huddle, the play that you execute every day in practice. You know your quarterback can make the throw. You know your receivers can run those routes.
We welcome you to our broadcasting booth here inside the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcasting booth. I'm Mr. G. Lou Guglielmo along with Coach Steve Vergone, and alongside is Howard Gaber on the controls. Special guest has walked into the booth. That would be Franklin Athletic Director Ken Margolin. We'll be speaking to Mr. Margolin at the half. A little checking in on a state of Franklin Athletics. Right now, the state is down the field as Rhineberry stays at quarterback. He rolls, blocking in front is Merrick's. Rhineberry throws a little shovel pass. Incomplete, maybe an ill-advised throw at that
Actually, a fantastic job of Rhineberry getting rid of the ball before he gets brought down inbounds. That was a purposeful throwaway.
And by ill-advised, I mean a purposeful throwaway.
And it looks like Franklin's actually going to bring out the kicker right here.
Let's say, is that going to be sorry, Bompo Perry, number 34, in the kick field goal. 28-yarder blocked by Bridgewater. The ball is loose. Scooped up and taken down there. Penetration. That ball never had a chance for Bompo Perry.
No, and actually it looks like he got enough distance on his extra points to make this field goal, and you can see why Coach Pachkowski went for it right there, but unfortunately the edge defender just got in there too quick for him to get the kickoff. Good play by Bridgewater, but nice attempt by Franklin. That looked like it was going in if that defender didn't get there. Bridgewater lining up in the gun right now, looking like they may take one last shot at this.
Ronald thought about taking a knee, but he sends Goff out wide, naked backfield. Looks like a flag down. This will be looks like procedure on Bridgewater. 10 seconds left. 1st and 10 now. 1st and 15 for the Panthers on the 22-yard line.
Key here for Franklin is just don't let anyone get behind you. Everything has to be in front of you on this play. No quarterback is throwing the ball 79 yards.
Looks like we're in victory formation, though, so this may just be a kneel down. And Verano takes a snap, takes a knee, and the clock will run out as we come to the end of the first half. It is now 21, Bridgewater, Franklin 7. And coming up at halftime, interview with Franklin Athletic Director Ken Margolin. And we are going to hear a word from today's sponsor. And joining me up here in the Berkshire Hathaway Real Estate broadcast booth is Franklin Athletic Director Ken Margolin. Ken, great to have you up with us.
Thanks for having me, Lou.
It's my pleasure. So, Ken, as our athletic director, you have to be proud and to sit here and look at the state of Franklin sports.
Yeah, that's an understatement. Been in district about 18 years. Started out health and phys ed, dean of students, vice principal, and now athletic director. And it's been amazing. We have tremendous student athletes, and we're trying to put together programs across the board in every sport that are competitive at the state level, and we're well on our way.
When you see the stands alive like this, the electricity for Friday night lights here, what better venue in the state is there? I mean, this is such an incredible field.
Yeah, you're right. There really isn't. And Coach Pechkowski and his staff are doing a great job this year. And, boys are playing real hard, and we're very proud of our facility. You can look for Franklin High School to host state events coming up in different sports. We really want to showcase our facilities, and that's a priority of mine. I'm very proud of what we have here at Franklin, and we want the entire state to know what we have here.
We know we have the new concession stand being built. Looks like tennis courts are up under repair.
Yep.
I know that's a sport that's near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely.
So, so Mr. Marlin, tell us, what do we have to look forward to in the fall, as the fall season comes to an end, as we get to our winter sports?
So, obviously we're getting ready for hopefully a playoff run with our football team. Our field hockey team has a county game coming up. Our girls soccer team is in the county semifinal game against Bridgewater tomorrow, so that's very exciting. Our cheer team is about to enter Scotland Conference cheer tournament coming up next week. So there's a lot of exciting things happening with the fall as that closes out. And then winter sports, we're really excited about what's upcoming in the winter.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about our winter sports season last year, when the girls state championship, the excitement has to be high with Diamond Miller and the ladies returning this year for a run at an unprecedented second state title in a row.
Yeah, it's I have to say, Coach Taylor and her staff do a tremendous job. It's a tremendous group of young ladies. They really are a family. They play very hard, and we expect to go deep into the states, hopefully get another state championship, and then hopefully move on to the Tournament of Champions. We're proud of what's happening in our boys program as well. They're definitely up and coming, and our bowling team is always solid. Wrestling, actually, we have a new head coach this year. Chris McAvoy has stepped in. He was our former head coach a couple of years ago.
Yes,
He's
sir.
coming back to coach again. We have a couple of new assistants coming in. So we're very excited about what's going on. Track and field is the turnout in terms of participation already. Signups has been incredible. And you know what a juggernaut program we have there in terms of track and field. So we are very excited for the winter season of sports out here in Franklin School District.
You know, I know we spend so much time focusing on the high school for sports, but you also have a fine middle school sports program. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on at the middle school?
We do, yeah. You know, it's very exciting. Next year we reconfigure, and we have one middle school, but we have two campuses. So we're spending a lot of time just kind of coordinate and figure out how we're going to offer different programs at both sites. We're actually looking to do a lot of facilities upgrades. There's a lot of improvements that have already taken place at Sampson G. Smith, and now we're kind of focusing on Franklin Middle School campus to bring that up to where it should be. It used to be a high school. It was a tremendous facility in its day, but we really want to bring it up to where it should be and what our student athletes deserve. So that's what we're focusing on.
What do you think? What a successful middle school, I mean, it seems like obvious, but what could a successful middle school sports program mean for athletics here in the high school?
To me, it means everything. Your middle school program, in conjunction with your rec programs, your town travel programs, those are your feeder systems. So that's something that we do spend a lot of energy and a lot of time on. It's very important to us. What we did, if you look at our middle school football program this year, we've worked in conjunction with Pop Warner. We have Pop Warner coaches coaching with our teacher coaches. It's been a great marriage so far. The team's been very successful. The numbers are up, and that's just going to feed into our high school program up here. And we're looking to do the same thing in other programs that we offer at the middle school. We really, one of my charges and what's very important to me is to really make athletics a community-based organization in the township. Our community is very vocal about what we do and how we do it, and I like that. I think that's a good thing. I'm very open to suggestions. And the only way we're successful in Franklin athletically is if our community is part of that process.
You know, I can't help but think, as a teacher in the building, that when you have a successful sports program, it sets a tone not just on the athletic field, but also in the classroom, in the hallways. The athlete as leader. I know that's something that's a big part of your vision.
Yeah, absolutely. I try to tell all the coaches and all our student athletes that for me, they should set the example in the building. It's an honor to put on a uniform. And we have a very high standard for our athletes. Academics is number one. You have to be doing very well in the classroom to even get on the field. And again, that's something that we strive and that we impress upon our student athletes is we do want them to be the role models in the building. It is a privilege to play sports in Franklin Township and School District. So along with that comes a lot of responsibility.
Well, as we talk about the current state of Franklin athletics, I'd like to ask you to maybe speak a little bit about the past when we are now going to be rolling out our second inaugural class, well, not the inaugural class, but our second class for the Franklin Athletic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I am not a Franklin alum. I was not born and raised in Franklin, and what I've learned over, again, the 18 years I've been here is the incredibly rich tradition that we have in this township. We've won championships upon championships in every sport in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s. And we want to recognize a lot of our former athletes that we have. So this second go-around for our Hall of Fame, The induction ceremony is going to be on November 25th in the afternoon from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. I'm not going to give away who's going to be honored, but it's quite a impressive group of men and women. And, we encourage people to come out and support. And we also have a fundraiser going on right now to help to fund that. You can go on our Booster Club and you'll see what that fundraiser is.
The Snap Raise.
Yeah, Snap Raise. And we do need some funds. We're a little bit short in that regard.
Yeah, and we encourage all those viewing this live stream to to make a donation to the programs here, because whether it's the Hall of Fame or the Warrior for Life Scholarship Foundation, Franklin is focusing so much beyond just the playing field, but also what our Warrior athletes and our Warrior scholars are doing after they leave the hallowed halls here in Franklin.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Frank. Well, again, I thank you for joining us up here in the Berkshire Hathaway broadcasting booth. Coach Vergone and I are honored to have administration be part of our live stream broadcast. It is not necessarily the way the night is going, I'm sure, for the team, but there's still a lot of time left and a lot of opportunities left.
Yeah, well, it's a process, and Coach Petch has only been with the boys for less than 6 months. They've been in every game. They've been competitive, and I don't see any reason why that won't continue for the rest of the season. I'm really excited about the offseason to see what happens once the boys get into the gym and lift and work out, and we have a whole full 12 months with these young men. And again, with what's happening at the middle school and what's coming up, very, very exciting, not just for our football program, but all of the programs across the board. And again, our facilities. We have amazing facilities. We're going to showcase our facilities in a variety of different sports and really put Franklin on the map as we should be. We are a jewel that some people know about, but not enough people know about, and it's very important to me. I'm very proud of what we have here at Franklin.
Yeah, and I tell you that when you were named athletic director, there was many people who knew of your coaching resume, how many you were a 3-season coach, but multiple sports in those seasons. And I've said it to you personally, and I'll say it to you on the air, that I think that was one of the best hiring decisions. It is a natural fit to see you at the helm of our sports program, and I think that with you calling the shots, that the greater community will benefit for years to come.
Yeah, well, again, I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the school district. I love the job. I'm passionate about it. And it's been amazing. I'm here for the long haul. I'm not going anywhere. And you're going to see amazing things in the next 5 to 10 years through Franklin Athletics and spill over into the rest of the building as well.
Okay. Well, we're going to ask you to draw your attention out to the field, and I thank Ken Margolin for coming up and spending a few minutes with us as we enjoy the rest of the halftime facilities with your Franklin Warrior Marching Band.
Thanks, Lou.
Franklin Warriors getting themselves pumped up to come out for the start of the second half. Dwayne Jefferson going through some stretches on the side. Tyke Reinberry loosening up, limbering up, stretching his legs. You can see the sprinter stretches that he's doing. Those are definitely his bread and butter. Fans are excited to start this half. You can hear the buzz from the bleachers.
Well,
Coach doing double duty right now as we get ready to start the half. A couple of his anxious students are proud of the fact that they finished his essay for his AP class, I'm assuming.
Oh, those are honor students for you, finishing their essays on a Friday night and then still making it out to the football game.
I think she's upset that you haven't graded it yet, though, Coach, so why don't you get on that?
I will get home and take care of it at some point tonight.
And here we are. Gow with the kick. This time it's a low liner. Blown dead. Looks like refs are going to call this offsides. So looks like the curl of the kick caused the offsides penalty.
Going to move it back 5 yards. Re-kick for Bridgewater. Bridgewater going with the squib kick right here. Try to keep the ball out of the hands of Franklin's playmakers. Looks like Rhineberry back there with Dwayne Jefferson.
Fans are really charged up on the board. You can sense the excitement amongst them. Gow lining up again for trying to squib. I mean, would you want to kick to these receivers? I don't. Ball away, end over end. This time received by number 9, Badru. Badru spins through, brought down at the 40. You give Badru a chance to run. He just puts his foot in the turf, and he's gone.
Yeah, and way to finish that run for Badru that time, too. Really ran over the Bridgewater defender there, got an extra couple yards. Nice effort there at the end of that run.
So looks like we are going back with Tony Scott under center this time. We're in the gun.
And I'd expect the Warriors to continue to mix this up. Both quarterbacks have had success tonight.
No, they're going to stay with Rhineberry in the so Scott is in as a receiver this time, but Rhineberry stays. Tyke Rhineberry in at the Wildcat quarterback, and again, Dalen Merrick's behind him in the set. Ball handed off to Merrick's, kept by Rhineberry, and brought down immediately by number 9 for the Panthers, Cheeky Nwanko.
Yeah, again, playing disciplined football on that read option right there by the Panthers. Good job. Franklin probably going to have to give the ball to the running back a couple times to get them off of Rhineberry on the QB keep.
Nwanko had nothing going in that play. He just blew it up. Ball, loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11. Tyke Rhineberry again in at the Wildcat. Rhineberry looks to throw, holds the ball, pulls it down, breaks towards the line, reaches forward, stretching forward to bring the ball. Maybe gain a 6 on the play, gain a 7 with something for the negative, so it should be 3rd and 4.
You really can't sleep on Rhineberry at quarterback throwing the ball, or Tony Scott playing receiver for the Warriors. Both fantastic athletes who can do a multitude of things for the Warriors. So just because Tony Scott's lining up wide doesn't mean that this isn't going to be a pass play.
Coach, we know he wants to run the football, but does he have to sell the pass just a little longer in order to kind of keep the corners and safeties legit?
I think it's about keeping Bridgewater's offense off
Rhineberry
balance.
Pulls the ball down, takes it to the outside, and again brought down by number 28, Justin Bryant of the Bridgewater Panthers. Bryant has been equally effective on offense and defense tonight for the Bridgewater Panthers.
Yeah, great job stepping up and making that play on Rhineberry, who is elusive in the open field. Bryant did a great job on that tackle.
Okay, looks like Clay Fields will be in to punt now for the Warriors. Fields waits at the 29. Ball received, dropped, kicked away. Ball end over end, takes a Franklin Warrior bounce, checks up at the 22, blowing it, trying to get it to roll to the 20-yard line. Picked up maybe an extra yard. Down by number 22 for the Warriors, Isaiah Solomon. Do I feel old? Yes, I taught his mother and father when they were dating. That would be our own Rebecca Solomon and Nick Solomon, principal of the middle school. I have been in this district a long time.
Yeah, good job by the Warrior defense, our offense on that last drive, picking up a couple yards, getting off a nice punt, changing field position. Let's see if the defense can hold serve here.
Morano under center this time, hands the ball off to Goff. Goff continuing a big tackle by number 40, Joshua Bello, dragging Goff down.
Yeah, Goff picking up some steam on these last couple carries. He's showing some nice burst, some nice power at the end of these runs. The Warriors are going to have to keep doing a good job gang tackling him, get multiple defenders in there to bring him down.
Bridgewater in the white uniforms, or might look like Penn State out there. Verano hands off to Goff again. Goff turns to the corner, breaks to the outside. That might just be enough for a first down, but looking at the color scheme of the uniforms, you kind of think it's a Big Ten matchup there with and the Big House with our Franklin Warriors in the Michigan color scheme and the visiting Nittany Lions of Penn State. But it is not. It is Bridgewater Panthers, 1st and 10 on the 27-yard line. Verano hands the ball off once again to Goff, and he's met immediately and dragged down by number 37, Darius. I'm in Mr. G's AP Government class, Mathis.
Yeah, great job by Mathis that time getting off his block. Couple of Warriors getting off the blocks of the Bridgewater O-line, quickly getting into the backfield, making a play before before the ball carrier had a chance to get ahead of steam on that one.
So Greg Verano back under the center. Turns, pitches once again to Goff. Goff turns the corner. He's got some outside room, and he's dragged down. Looks like Clay Fields brings him down. He had a step. It was Badru who tripped him up, and it was Fields who finished the tackle.
Yeah.
Badru got low and took his legs.
Yeah, Bridgewater going with a simple zone blocking scheme right here and letting their running back, Anthony Goff, make a decision where he sees the hole.
I mean, this is certainly not going to be running the clock down, but they're certainly playing a ball control game in the second half here. Verano under center. Passes one, hands it off once again to Goff. Returns to the outside. He's being tracked by Jefferson, who makes the initial contact, brings him down. Gain of, looks like a gain of 6 or 7 on the play. It'll be enough for a first down for Bridgewater. A new set of downs here in the third quarter.
Yeah, really good open field tackle by number 18, Dwayne Jefferson, right there on a big ball carrier. But just unfortunately 1 yard after the first down. But good job making that tackle.
Looks like Badru just took himself off the field with looks like a hip flexor. He's Goff once again into the teeth of the Franklin line. Brought down by those big uglies in the middle. Not much yardage gain there. Looks like number 7, Tyke Reinberry, comes up from his safety position to make the hit.
Yeah, Bridgewater's run the same play 5 times in a row right now, G. They're running a simple inside zone and letting their running back make plays in there. Franklin that time doing a good job stepping up and making the tackle after just a gain of 2.
Keep your eye on Badru as he gets stretched out by Anthony Brito. Verano, look now, he throws the ball to the hash mark. Incomplete. Intended for Brandon Myers, deep on the field, covered by Clay Fields.
Yeah, Bridgewater hoping to catch Franklin napping again, peeking into the backfield on that play fake. But Franklin clearly listened to their coaches at halftime, read their keys correctly, played their man, and not what was going on in the backfield that time. Good job by Clay Fields.
Looks like Greg Verano is getting more snap. Certainly, watching there's Badru running off whatever is bothering him, but the success of the Franklin track team, they were 4 by 100 would certainly take a blow with Taiwo Badru with a leg injury. Greg Verano keeps the ball, brings it up under center, pick up a 4 on the play. Reinberry with the tackle brings up 4th down for the Panthers at midfield. Looks like they're going to bring Gow back in the punt. Great job by the Franklin defense.
Huge stop. And the key to stopping Bridgewater's passing game for Franklin has been getting pressure on Verano. When they get pressure on him, he doesn't have time to see the receivers open downfield.
Now looks like it's Dallin Merrick. Nope. Looks like in to receive the punt this time. Ball checks up. Down by Bridgewater. Looked like it was Clay Fields who joined Reinberry while Badru is off on the sideline. We're going to stay here on the field as the teams change possessions.
Big possession here for Franklin. Had a little bit of success on offense the last one. Want to build on that right here and hopefully put some points up on the board, get back into this game, make it a 1-score game.
Looks like we're going to go back to the conventional quarterback, Tony Scott. Tyke Reinberry split out wide. Merrick's in the backfield, takes the handoff from Scott. Tyke with a block. Merrick's looking for a lane, cannot find one. Does a whole lot of running to eventually maybe gain 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, counter play right there for Franklin, and Bridgewater sniffed it out pretty quickly. Great job of getting some yardage on that play by Dylan Merrick's on a play that didn't look like there was a whole lot to be gained.
Do you want Merrick's just to take the ball and put his foot in the turf and go upfield, or is he trying to stretch it out looking for something to develop?
It actually looks like Bridgewater would have stopped him at the line had Merrick's not bounced that one outside.
So,
So while usually you want him to cut it up inside his blocks, on that particular play, that looked to be the only avenue
little
to gain some
improvisation.
yardage.
Little improv. Looks like a flag down. As we are midway through this third quarter, 21-7. Looks like it's going to be offsides on the defense, a little encroachment. But nope, the false start.
It's actually offsides on the offense on this play. Franklin was lined up in front of the ball.
Spotters in my ear were telling me he was on the defense. Ball taken off, handed off to Reinberry. He finds a hole, pulls it back again, looking for an opening, trying to create something out of nothing. And certainly don't recommend that running style, but you need the first burst speed of Tyke Reinberry in order to make it successful, and he does.
Yeah, what a play, gaining 9 yards by Reinberry right there. To end around to him, he came out of the slot on the right side, takes the end around from Tony Scott, cuts it up into the middle, into the teeth of the Bridgewater defense. Does a great job finishing that run, and gaining 9 yards, making this a short third down.
I've never seen a player do a rewind and then reload as the Reinberry does. Third down and 1. Ball handed off to Merrick's. Trouble in the backfield, looking for a hole and gets nothing. Brought down by number 9 of Bridgewater, Cheeky Nwanko.
Yeah, and that's the danger of bouncing it out like you were just talking about on the last play, G. He tried to do what he did on the last play, bounced it outside, and there was a Bridgewater defender waiting for him right there.
Yeah, the penetration blew that play up pretty much from the time that Scott was going to hold the ball. I mean, you almost at that point want Tony to hold the ball and see if he can make something happen with his athleticism.
Yeah.
Looks like Fields is now into punt. Ball is away, end over end kick, angling to the sideline, checks up and takes a slight Franklin roll inside the 50-yard line, down at the 43 of Bridgewater. Midfield starting position once again for the Panthers. But, a chance for Franklin to continue to hold. Does Bridgewater stay conservative with the run game that was gaining them efficient yards, or do they go back to the slinging gun, Greg Verano trying to get the big home run every play?
I think you're going to see Bridgewater continue to pound it with Goff and take their shots on play action here. But they want their big running back to wear down this Franklin defense.
2 fullbacks in, hand off to Goff. Goff once again into the line, met immediately, resist by that big Franklin middle. Looks like big number 76 Marcus Estevez in on the tackle.
Yeah, the best part of that play is seeing multiple Franklin defenders in on that stop. Jamil Holmes was in there too. 3, 4, 5 Franklin hats to the ball. That's what it's going to take to bring him down, especially as they start to get tired.
Estevez is a big boy in that middle there, playing nose tackle. A big run stopper. Number 5, little nickel comes in. Verano rolls to the outside. Initial contact breaks that gets about 7-8 yards on the QB keeper.
Yeah, Verano just so tough to bring down right there.
That would be Kyle Nickel, son of Bill.
Another third and short here for Bridgewater. Big play for the Franklin defense. Big test.
And you want to see the discipline here. Franklin's been known to be aggressive and be victimized by a, defensive encroachment, trying to anticipate, make a play. You'd like to see them discipline here. Verano under center, hands the ball to Goff. Goff gets ahead of steam through the hole down at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 5 on the play. Good enough for a Panther first down. New set of downs for Bridgewater.
Yeah, no trickeration right there by Bridgewater. They keep coming back to that inside zone play, and they're just running it really effectively right now. And Goff is doing a great job finding the cutback lane and getting his pads upfield.
It looks like the big boy can run all night. He has no signs of slowing down. He just says, feed me some more. Verano back under center. Takes a snap, pulls back, play action, sets his feet, looks downfield, has a man, and should have been intercepted by Dwayne Jefferson.
Yeah, I think Jefferson was surprised to see the ball find him right there because that was thrown nowhere near the Bridgewater receiver. Only one person in a route, and Verano had heat coming at him from all different directions. He was lucky to get that ball off.
We know what they say about defensive backs. They are receivers who can catch. So
I don't know if Dwayne would agree with you right there. But it was a good job nonetheless by Franklin's defensive line getting in there and making that a tough throw for Verano.
Goff with the ball, hands off to the right side. Goes, he's got the sideline. Knocked out of bounds by number 7, Tyke Reinberry.
Yeah, Goff seems to be getting stronger as everybody else in the game is getting more and more tired right now. He is a load to bring down.
Big gain by Goff. 1st and 10 now from the, looks like ball spotted at the 34-yard line. Ball handed off to Goff one more time. He just keeps going. Energizer Bunny not going to be stopped.
Brought down that time by Marcus Estevez, number 76.
Cannot run at Estevez. It's just hard to move. You know, you got the combination of Mathis and Estevez right there in the middle. You're better off. And they've had success on the wings.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Franklin needs to get some penetration. Get him before he gets his feet started.
Goff bounces it outside, breaks a tackle, pushes at the corner, untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Bridgewater Panthers. 2:11, third quarter, 27-7.
Yeah, tough play right there for the Warriors. They were in position, and Goff just makes a fantastic stiff arm on the edge, knocks down 2 Franklin defenders on his way to the end zone. Great job finishing that run.
Looks like Gao will be on for the extra point attempt. Number 25 is on for the extra point attempt. Looks like that is Nick Balafro. And we're with 2:11 left on the clock. The score is 28-7. Time for take a break from today's sponsor. No, you did not have a time warp. There is 21 seconds remaining. Apparently, lineman Bob Cancro and his teaching at East Brunswick did not instruct the young students about the proper way to read a digital clock. So that is 21.1 seconds. 2:11 in numbers, but not in temporal time left on the clock. Still 28-7. Those numbers are the correct ones, and they are not pointing well in the favor of your Warriors. Right now, Reinberry takes the kick. End over ends, paces himself, has a hole, and finally brought down at the 35 with 14.5 seconds. What a revelation learning how to tell time is.
You bet, Jay. Franklin going to look to respond right here, down 28-7, get themselves back into this game with a nice drive. Expect to see a nice mix of run and pass from both Reinberry and Tony Scott at the quarterback position.
So the Wildcat wasn't having the success that it had at the end of the first half. Do you abandon it, or do you just stay with it? And
no, I think that you mix it in. It's It's to keep the defense off balance, and I think you'll continue to see Franklin do that periodically.
Trips right, single back receiver. Ball thrown on the go to Clay Fields. Quick release. Is that Rhineberry? Oh, number 7, Rhineberry. Single receiver split out wide to the left.
Great hands by Rhineberry right there, hanging onto it with his fingertips because Tony Scott loaded up and ripped that football at him.
I mean, Coach, the quick hitters, why don't they go to it more?
It's not always a high percentage play. You know, it looks like it when it's completed, but it's actually a pretty difficult play to execute.
So that will be the end of the third quarter. 28-7 Bridgewater. Franklin on the move, building on some momentum, has plenty of time to make things happen. This is high school football. Things can happen quickly. Mistakes can happen easily. So plenty here to hope for and to root for your Franklin Warriors.
Yeah, I'd expect to see some more quick pass game out of the Warriors right here. Get the ball out of Tony Scott's hands. Keep it moving downfield. The same way that you just saw him throw it out to Tyke Rhineberry right there.
Official moved the ball about 3 inches from one side of the yard line to the other. You can see it spotted on the hash mark. This time on the other side of the hash. With 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, a full clock to play with. Franklin hoping now to drive this quick score into the end.
Looks like they're trying to isolate Rhineberry on that left side right now.
Tony Scott rolls. Pressure coming from the backside. Does Tony see it? He's hit, dragged down, maybe loss of 1. I don't know if he felt that pressure coming, but he sure had a few seconds to get rid of that before he was about to get.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to go backside to Tyke Rhineberry coming across the field. It took a long time for the play to develop, and it just didn't happen quickly enough. Bridgewater in the backfield very quickly that time, which is surprising because Franklin's O-line has done a fantastic job giving Tony time to throw today.
That O-line anchored by Nick DeMeglio, son of the sponsor tonight, Nicholas DeMeglio Realtor, 732-828-9403 for all your real estate needs. Tony Scott in the gun, receives a snap, rolls to his right, puts his foot on the ground, quickly met, and somehow ball gets handed to Dalen Merrick, and Merrick manages to make something out of nothing, close to a first down. Coach, what did he give to that ball?
Not sure if Tony Scott fumbled that football or if he purposely passed it to Merrick as he was falling down, but heads up shovel play by Tony Scott. What a job by both him and Merrick to make this now a third and manageable.
Sure. 31, 11 minutes to play. Clock not a friend of the Warriors as they're down 3 scores, 28-7.
But Merrick did manage to get himself out of bounds, stop the clock right there, to the advantage of the Warriors. I'd expect to see them run the football, pick this first down up right here.
We'll hand it off to Merrick. Merrick puts his foot in the ground, and it's like he is through the line. Gain of 1 on the play. First down, Warriors.
Yeah, good job by Franklin right there. First downs are the most important thing. The clock stops, the chains move, new set of downs for the Warriors who are on the move right here.
Ball spotted on the 39-yard line of the Bridgewater. Franklin into enemy territory. Scott under center, Merrick to his side. Scott looking. Penetration, pulls the ball down, breaks through the line, is taking off, he's running for his life, he slides down at the 20-yard line. Big quarterback keeper by Tony Scott, flashing that elusiveness that has been such a trademark all season.
Yeah, Tony Scott made the decision to run that ball real quick on that play, and it was a good one. He found a gap in the defensive line, made a move, and once he's in the open field, he is very difficult to put a hit on. Again, clock stops. That's big for Franklin. They need to get on that ball, put this ball in the end zone quick.
First down. Ball on the 22-yard line. Scott calls for the snap. Quick hitch outside to Fields. Fields tackled down, gain of 3, brought down by number 9 and 28 combining on the tackle. That would be Justin Bryant and number 9, Cheeky Nwanko.
Yeah, good job of tackling Clay Fields right there by the Bridgewater defense, getting out there, making a play in space. Not an easy thing to do on Clay Fields.
Small gain for the Warriors. Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Ball spotted at the 21-yard line, almost in the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors green zone. And when it comes to saving green, Berkshire Hathaway Realty will make your real estate shopping painless. Ball collision with Merrick's, kept by Scott, breaks through the line. He's down to inside the Berkshire Hathaway green zone and down.
Yeah, nice keep by there by Tony Scott, and he's doing his best Tyke Rhineberry impression on that play. Wiggling his way through the defense, getting up, getting another first down for the Warriors.
I mean, it's not exactly a wildcat, but it's still a read option.
Absolutely, and it's keeping the defense off balance the same way it did when Rhineberry ran it.
28-7 here for Franklin. Coach, if they do manage to get the score at this point, do you start thinking about an onside kick?
I think you do. You're running out of time to make this into a tie ball game. So I think if you score here, you want to go onside.
Tony Scott calls for the ball, drops back, looks throw, deflected at the line, incomplete, intended for Rhineberry.
May have been fortunate to get the incompletion right there because it stops the clock, and it looked like 3 Bridgewater defenders were about to tackle Rhineberry out in the flat right
Looks
there.
like that ball was deflected by number 51, Nick Chelly. Dallin Maris brings the play in from the sideline. Scott gets the call, goes into the huddle. Franklin comes set to the line. Trips right. Rhineberry single slot receiver on the left-hand side. Scott rolls out to his right, looking for Rhineberry. Looking, throws to the end zone, deep in the corner. It is deflected, almost intercepted again, throwing into a crowd of white jerseys.
Rhineberry playing good defense on that play, knocking the ball out of Bridgewater defenders' hands.
I mean, you got to, they had a play called. They wanted it to execute, but you're not going to get 21 points back in one play.
No, you're not, but you're getting to the point where you probably want Tony Scott to take some chances, put the ball in the end zone. So he put the ball up, let Tyke Rhineberry make a play.
Well, those are your playmakers, and playmakers got to make plays. 8:07 on the clock. 3rd and 10. 2-down territory, Coach?
100% 2-down territory. In fact, you might see them throw a little short this time, make the 4th down play a little easier.
Scott takes the pitch, keeps it himself, looks to try to get something, brought back immediately, maybe no gain, loss of 1 possible on the play, tackled by defense. I mean, not that I need to look the number, it was just tackled by the defense.
Yeah, Bridgewater did a good job converging on that. That looked like a design run for Tony Scott right there, and Bridgewater sniffed that out immediately.
Looks like Coach Petchkowski's calling timeout, wants to get this play right, knowing at 4th and 10. And with that timeout, let's take a look at the Franklin Township High School football coaching staff.
All right, Franklin's head coach is John Petchkowski. Assistant coaches Dominic Amoroso, Mohammed El Shervini, Chris McAvoy, Joe Porter, Matt Young, Bob Bruno, and Steve Foster.
And our volunteer coach is Dave Sturcio. Now, we have to, talking to Ken Margolin, Coach, over the interview, he mentioned that Coach McAvoy is back at the helm of the wrestling program. And I have to say, from as a long-time Franklin staff member, there's just something right with Coach McAvoy back at the helm of the wrestling program. He has been a fixture on the mats, in the gym, all in the winters, and as much success as the wrestling team has had in recent years, Coach Mack back at the helm is a welcome sight.
Yeah, anybody who knows Coach Mack knows he does a great job on the field in football, baseball, and wrestling. So congrats to him.
Tyke Reinberry drops back, takes a stab. He's rolling. He is putting his foot in the ground. He is going for the end zone. He is brought down. But does he have enough for the first down? It was first and goal. He was not going to make it.
Yeah, Tyke Reinberry pulled it down, tried to make a play, ran for that corner, got some nice blocking, but just not enough to get in there. Bridgewater takes over now down at the 5-yard line.
So, disheartening, but again, for the Warriors, they got to dig deep, make something happen, make a play on defense, score on defense. This would be, they have the athletes capable, but you don't expect Bridgewater to put the ball up in the air.
No, you're going to see Bridgewater run the ball, probably that same inside zone play that they're going to run double tight, full house backfield, and run inside zone to Anthony Goff 3 times right here. Franklin's got to stop it.
A little bit of heavy jumbo coming at you now. Verano under center. Turns to Goff. Goff hit immediately and brought down by number 40. By number 40, Joshua Bello, and number 2, Clay Fields.
Yeah, actually ran an isolation play that time where the fullback leads right up and through. Running back follows him, and Franklin did a great job reading that. Bello did a great job finishing off that tackle.
Looks like loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11. Be nice to see if he can drive them back into their own end zone here. Ball handed off to Goff. Goff through the initial penetration, wrapped up, and now fighting his way close to the first down. Big, determined run by Goff, brought down by Reinberry.
Yeah, good job by Franklin, but Goff is running hard right now and is real tough to bring down.
So they will give Goff the first down yardage on that play. So that moves Bridgewater out of the shadow of its own goalpost at this point. Now 6:33 on the clock, up 3 scores. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Verano surveying the field, comes under center. Expect to see more of the handoff, and sure enough, here it goes to Goff one more time, stretches it to the outside, pursues stiff arms a Franklin defender, and blows himself through the sidelines. Looks like that was Tayo Badru who took the brunt of a Goff stiff arm.
Yeah, another good run by Goff right there. Hole's not there in the inside where the play is designed to go. He bounces it out and finishes the run hard. Another big pickup, 10, 11 yards, and looks like they're actually giving Goff a break after that one.
Yeah, and you got to credit, I think, his fullbacks have been paving the way for him. Number 37, Martin Mitchell. The blockers get uncredited oftentimes for doing the dirty work, but he has certainly been giving Goff big lanes to run behind.
Sure, he's been clearing them out.
And lead blocks again, gives a big hole down through the field, goes number 28, Justin Bryant. Bryant has nothing but daylight being pursued by Clay Fields, and Bryant is through and in for the Bridgewater touchdown. Big block by Martin Mitchell, cleared a hole, and Bryant just put his head down and ran through it.
Yeah, nothing tricky about what Bridgewater is doing right now. They're running the same play. They're just changing which direction they do it. And they are running power football right now, right at the Warriors, and it's working.
Yeah, I mean, that's hat on hat, and just follow your block because the holes that they are opening are enormous. It's like Gow will be on for the extra point. No, it's not Gow. This time it's number 24. 25. Nick Balgro. So we stay here with 6:02 on the clock, 35-7. Now it's a tall order for your Warriors. Quick hits, maybe something happens, a couple of breaks, but you really want to see at this point the boys stay fighting. You don't want to see them defeated. You want to see them fight to the end because that will show you the hallmark of this Warrior team.
Sure. Old saying in football, old cliche, that tough times don't build character, they reveal character. You find out a lot about your football team right now, down 35-7 in the 4th quarter. Are you the type of team that folds up? Are you the type of team that keeps playing? I think these Warriors, based on what we've seen so far, are the kind of kids who are going to keep playing.
Well, I'm reminded, Coach, of family member of yours, Dan Vergone, who said you stay to play the end of the game.
It's true. You play all the way through. And I think we'll see that from our Warriors right here.
Hey, I'd like to remind those of you viewing the game tonight that the next broadcast will be 11/3, November 3rd, versus Linden, and that will be homecoming. So I'd like to encourage all of you who cannot make the game to tune in live on HSG Productions. Game brought to you by Berkshire Hathaway Realtors Broadcasting as we broadcast the homecoming game. Gow with the kick, popped in the air, fumbled on the ground, loose, recovered by number 5, Rome Cruz. Quiet night for Cruz. Certainly doesn't want his name called with a fumbled catch, but recovered the ball nicely and very poised as he no panic as the ball hit the turf.
Sure, and no reason to. The ball falls on the ground, you fall on top of the ball. Cruz did a good job, even though he dropped it initially, falling on top, making sure nothing happened right there.
Folks, there's a rare sighting in the crowd, but Franklin's own Robert Friedman is joining us, and seeing him in a football game is much like seeing a Yeti in the wild. You really can't believe that you actually see him out and about, but he is here and loved by all at Franklin. Robert's now in the broadcast booth. Rome Cruz gets a chance to run the ball tonight, strings it out to the sideline. Not much of a gain, but gives a break to the usual cast of characters.
Yeah, number 33, Lawrence Nice on the tackle right there. Great job pursuing Cruz to the sideline, finishing off the play right there.
So is it safe to say, Coach, that was a nice tackle?
It was an excellent tackle right there. Oh, I see what you did there,
I
Jay.
did. That's pun.
Nice tackle.
A pun intended. So Franklin comes set to the line. Clock running, 5:19 and change left to play. Flag down. Looks like this is going to be false start for your Warriors as officials mark off the penalty. 2nd and 11 now. Probably becomes 2nd and 16. Ball on the 31-yard line. 35-7 Bridgewater. More officials' whistles. Trying to get the clock adjusted, I believe. Ball is snapped, kept by Rhineberry. Rhineberry puts his foot in the ground, looking for an opening, reverses field, turns the corner, has a lane, making something out of nothing. Is Rhineberry fumbles the ball out of bounds, and luckily it goes out of bounds, but Rhineberry picks up 30 yards on a broken play. Pure Rhineberry athleticism.
Yeah, it was a great job by Tyke. Almost gets the first down here. He looks like he's about a yard short, but great play. And actually a great job out on the edge by, I believe that's Tayu Badru. Really could have made a block in the back pretty easily right there and kept his hands off his defender, let Tyke make a play in the open field. So one of the rare cases where not blocking actually was better than blocking the guy in front of him.
So now we got 3rd and 1, a chance to get back all that penalty yardage plus the 10 yards back in the backfield that Rhineberry started. Incredible individual effort by Tyke Rhineberry. It just never ceases to they are going to give him the first down. So once again, Rhineberry under center, looks to throw. Rhineberry throws to Tony Scott. Ball is deflected by Justin Bryant, number 28, who's had himself a game.
Not surprised to see Tony Scott running a route right there. He played wide receiver in middle school. He played wide receiver as a freshman.
I mean, Coach, how much of this is also putting this on tape that Rhineberry will throw the ball too? I mean, you know that others are going to look and scout. If they see the read option and all they know is that Rhineberry is either going to pitch or run, you got to keep them honest, right?
Sure, there's some of that, and there's some of just giving Tyke some experience throwing the ball right now at the end of the game. let him feel comfortable throwing it so that people don't know that he's running it, that it's a run every single time he lines up at quarterback.
Once again, Rhineberry in the gun. Another pass from Rhineberry, this time complete, has his man, Tony Scott. Tony Scott trying to reverse course, breaks down through the first down. Ball caught below the first down marker, but Tony Scott, with individual effort, manages to fight his way past the yardage marker for a gain of 11.
Yeah, great job by Tony Scott. Good job by Tyke getting the ball out there. It's a long throw out there on that screen, 25 yards just to get it out to Tony, who does a nice job making a couple guys miss.
So Franklin showing some great athleticism, some smart football skills here. 4:19 clock running.
Not to mention some heart. Still playing hard here with less than 5 minutes to go in this ball game.
And that's really a noticeable change with this team, that they believe that they can win even if their score is a little lopsided the other way. Rhineberry takes a snap, looking downfield. He himself now rolls, posts the ball down, tackled, brought down, team tackled there by 51 and 59. That would be number 51, Nick Chelly, and number 59, Mark Austin. Running clock now with the score 35-7. High school football rules, the clock will run. So waiting for Franklin to bring the play in. Looks like Rome Cruz bring the play in from Coach Peskowski on the sideline.
Yeah, Cruz getting some run here at the end of the game. We'll probably see some more of the young players mixed in now with less than 5 minutes to go. Some sophomores and juniors get and get some run for Franklin.
Looks like Anthony Bagwell is split out wide. Tyke Rhineberry rolls to his right, looks downfield to throw, throws downfield, and ball is caught by Clay Fields, who takes a big hit. Big hit back, but holds on to the ball and makes the completion.
Yeah, Fields.
Looks like Fields is a little shaken up.
Yeah, it's the second big hit Clay Fields has taken, and he somehow hung on to the ball.
So with 2:55, we take a break for today's sponsor. We'd like to welcome you inside the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcast booth high above the field for today's game. With me, as always, is Coach Steve Vergone, myself, Lou Guglielmo, bringing you all the action along with Howard Gaber on controls. Sponsored by Berkshire Hathaway Realtors. Realtor Nick DeMeglia. Okay, Franklin comes back to the line. Speaking of Nick DeMeglio, his son at center will be snapping the ball back to Tyke Rhineberry. Rhineberry looking downfield, has a man, has a receiver. It's caught by number 9. Is that Badru?
Teo Badru on that catch right there, but Bridgewater swarming on defense, makes the tackle after a gain of a few.
So, yes, number 53, Nick DeMeglio. Fine student, too. Have him in class. Told him I would give him a special shout-out. Hi, Nick.
I'm impressed with the Franklin O-line tonight. They've done a great job giving both quarterbacks time, opening up some holes for the run game. Bridgewater's strength is their defensive line and their linebackers, and the Warriors have held up pretty well against them tonight.
Right. These are the small victories that, a team may not necessarily appreciate right now, but they're building blocks. Rhineberry takes the ball, puts it down, looking for some blockers, has one by Rome Cruz, and Rhineberry manages to bring it out about 9 yards. Once again, making it third and manageable. Nice block by Cruz.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rome Cruz was not expecting to make that block out on the edge, but improvised, made it, and Tyke was able to take advantage and cut it upfield for a nice gain.
We are 2nd and 3, ball on the 26-yard line Franklin looking to continue to build on this campaign against high-level competition. We have a game coming up against Hillsborough, game coming up against Linden. The homecoming game at Linden is going to be a major opportunity to tune in tonight and watch the game live. Rhineberry throws complete down to the 11-yard line. Rhineberry's passing stats are going to look pretty impressive. Maybe 1 or 2 incompletions, but generally has had a pretty successful game throwing the ball.
Yeah, and opponents are going to see this on film and see that he can throw the ball, and they're not going to be able to commit as many defenders to the box when he lines up there going forward.
Cruz brings the call in from Coach Pechkowski.
Real important here for Franklin to have some red zone success on this play.
Rhineberry hit the snap, looking, puts the ball down, takes it through the hole, kick a big hit, but should be enough to get the Franklin first down. But with second down now, so let's look at the clock. So I see it. They're still showing it's 4th down, so they are not going to give him the yardage on that play. Looks like they're going to take a timeout to measurement. Right. So it's actually not an official timeout. It's Franklin calling the timeout to try to run one more play to see if they can get this score in.
Yeah, this is real important right here. Even if it's not important to this game, it's important for them going forward. Franklin's been down in the red zone 2 or 3 times during this ball game and hasn't been able to punch it in. This would be a big stepping stone for them going forward to be able to punch one in against a good defense so that they can continue that against Hillsborough and Linden.
So 4th and 8 could be the final aggressive play of now. Okay, now they're changing it to 2nd down. I thought that Rhineberry picked up the 1st down. I have to trust my instincts and not my producer. Rhineberry rolling, avoids initial contact, flips the ball to Tony Scott. Tony is brought down hard. Nope, that is Badru. Excuse me. Tayo Badru, who is certainly feeling his body tonight. He is going to be a sore man tomorrow. 26 seconds left. 3rd down.
I'd expect to see the Warriors run one more play at least here.
Clock running. Franklin hustling to the line, trying to maybe make one more play. Gets set. Rhineberry calls for the snap, looks, puts the ball down himself. Bridgewater, and Rhineberry is tackled. Looks like the ball's fumbled forward, recovered in the end zone by Bridgewater. And number 32, that is Peter Urwick for Bridgewater with the recovery. That will pretty much put a bow on this one, a pink bow nonetheless, but still a bow in favor of the Panthers of Bridgewater, who come in to Warrior Field here in Franklin 35-7 as Verano will go for the victory formation, take a knee, and turn out the lights. The party's over.
Yeah, great effort by both sides here. I don't think the score tells the whole story in this particular game. The Warriors had their opportunities, and this game was much closer than 35-7. You know, Bridgewater wore them down towards the end, but this was a close football game through the 3rd quarter.
You have to see the improvement of the Warriors. You have to see the change in tone. This team did not quit. This team did not give up despite the scoring deficit. And in recent vintage, you can't quite say that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was heartening to see them play out this 4th quarter. And, you know, they've got some things to work on going forward. Red zone offense is going to be a big key for them in practice going forward leading up to Hillsborough.
So with that last whistle, we are calling it a night here from the Berkshire Hathaway Realtors broadcast booth.